Hey, what is up guys? Welcome back to another video. So today's video I'm actually going to be doing a review of the app Mercari. So with that said, let's get into the video. So if you guys don't know what Mercari is, it's basically an app. It's a little bit newer on the App Store. It's been around a couple months, but it's basically your offer up, let go of kind of shipping. So it's basically buying and reselling things just as eBay is. It's basically a newer version of the eBay platform, focused on kind of your mobile application side of actually buying and reselling. And it's basically the same thing as I said before, as like offer up, let go. But it's actually where you can actually ship the items. And yes, those platforms have tapped into it, but I haven't really seen any other platform like Mercari that has mitigated the flaws and stuff like that. But in the video, I'm actually going to go over both cons and pros, because I do have a couple points for each side. So this is more of an informational thing. It's just my personal opinion. But with that said, let's get into the cons. So the first one is there's one thing I've noticed. I strictly do buying and selling iPhones on the platform, but with the iPhones and actually listing them, I get a lot of lowball offers. That's just kind of, I would consider a negative, because it's just not really worth my time. And obviously that means it's a growing platform and there's lots of people on it, which is good traction for me. And it shows people are interested, but they're just not interested at the right price. Whereas on eBay, really people that are gonna message you are probably ones that are really interested in the phone. Yeah, you'll get a couple low ballers, but here I probably get like every iPhone, I'll probably get 15 plus actually offers that are really nowhere near what I'm looking for. It's just kind of a waste of my time, and I don't want to go through sift those messages. Second is that there's no really update if the seller of the phone doesn't ship the item, and that for me would be iPhones, but typically they allow them 4 days, 4 business days to actually ship out that item. And if that doesn't happen, you don't really get any notification that happens. You constantly have to be checking up. Yeah, it's not a big problem. We shouldn't be lazy about it, but then we just kind of have to keep account for it, and we'd always like a notification or something like that. You kind of have to go hunt down the buyer, see what's happening, or worst case scenario, go cancel the order and get your money back. Third would be that when you click, like when I search up, like let's say an iPhone or a piece of clothing or something, it'll list all things that are either not sold or sold. And that's kind of frustrating, because obviously I can't buy any phones that are already sold, or any whatever you're buying on there, whatever sold. And yeah, you can get a gauge of what things are selling for, so that's nice, but I really just want to see the things that are available. But with that said, you can filter out for items that are sold or still available, so that is a kind of a plus and a con to that point. Fourth point is Mercari actually takes out 10%. And I know like apps like Poshmark would take like 15% out, but I'd really like to see them kind of lower that maybe to like 7-8%, because it's very similar to a platform like eBay where they take out 10%. So sometimes it really isn't an incentive to use Mercari, just because eBay's been around so long, and obviously there's 100 times more people on that actual platform, again because it's been around so long. So they kind of have to separate themselves in that sense to become the main platform for buying and selling through the mobile application. Yeah, they're really one of the only ones that have dominated the market, but I would like to see them be around the 7-8%, just so there's an incentive for people to come from eBay and use their app, because they do really sell anything that eBay does, and you can list pretty much anything that they do. And now we're going to talk about the pros. So with that said, I do have a lot more pros than cons, because I really do like the platform. So the first one is just how easy it is to use. Before I actually used the app, I was very familiar with apps like OfferUp, Facebook Marketplace, and Let Go. And honestly, this platform is very similar to those in the sense that it's easy to filter through, look for what you want. You type in certain keywords. There is kind of like explore pages if you don't really know what you want going into the app. And like messaging and stuff. It's a pretty easy to use platform, especially because it is on the mobile application, just at your fingertips. So the second point is actually make pretty fast sales on this platform. I don't know about other items like clothing or anything else that's on the app, because I strictly do iPhones, but for what I sell, I can speak pretty confidently that you're probably gonna make pretty fast sales on there. Typically they'll sell within 2 to 3 days, and now that's similar to eBay if you do like fixed price for like 3 days or auction for 3 days. But just because of the amount of people, it's like a growing platform. A lot of people are getting traction with their certain listing, and I can speak for that. I am getting a lot of people that are interested in a lot of my phones. Obviously that's priced at the right price point, but therefore you have quicker turnaround time. For me, I want more money to be able to go out and buy more phones because I do iPhone reselling as kind of a side income, but actually having those phones go out within 20 minutes to 3 days is pretty convenient for me because I'm getting that money to go buy and resell another phone. Third is that Mercari updates you guys every step of the way, which is very convenient if you're the buyer or the seller, because you just kind of want to know at what point is the transaction at, and so you have an idea of exactly when your package is arriving from the buyer side, obviously. But from buying to shipping to the arrival of the package, you're getting notifications kind of left and right, which is just kind of good to know. Just kind of holds accountability for the transaction, and so you can therefore see when it's arrived and make sure everything's all right. Otherwise, obviously worst case scenario, sending it back for return if anything wasn't correct. But it's just kind of convenient from our standpoint. It's easy to have a notification on your phone, just kind of like satisfaction that, oh, it got here, it got shipped, it's arriving in 3 days, it's at my doorstep. I just want to know as a buyer or a seller exactly where the package is at. Fourth point is the direct messaging, and it's not a big point, but similar to OfferUp and LetGo, it's more friendly than eBay in my sense, in that, again, it's on the mobile application, so it's something that we're always kind of it's just at our fingertips rather than the computer. It's a little bit more inconvenient, just in my opinion, but very fast with the direct messaging system. You get notifications when somebody messages you. You get that little red dot near the inbox just to know that you have an incoming message. Just an easy to use platform in that sense. The fifth point is if you're a beginner on the actual platform, I'm guessing if you're watching this, most of you will be, there really is no follower importance. So when you're an actual seller on the platform, you can get followers that will follow you, can see all your listings if they're interested in a lot of things that you sell. But with that said, it won't affect your ranking. There is no really ranking system other than kind of when you posted, how long ago you actually posted the item. So having 1,000 followers or 1 follower won't rank you any differently on the platform. So whatever you're selling should sell identical. Obviously that can give you credibility if they go to your page, which is nice in having followers, whereas if you're a new seller, people might be more skeptical, but actually having those reviews won't rank your item any higher on the page than somebody that is brand new to the platform. 6 would just be the great customer service, and what I actually truthfully haven't used any customer service, but with that said, I can say it's great customer service because I haven't needed. The platform is just generally easy to use, and those that I've watched other app reviews on the actual platform, and all of them are pretty similar in that they always say that there's great customer service, easy to contact, their help desk, anything you may need, they're always kind of there for you. 7 would be, I mentioned this earlier in the video, but it's pretty easy filtering. You can search by price range, condition of what you're searching for, free shipping or not, just kind of everything you can kind of think of when buying an item on the internet. You can kind of filter for it, and yes, you can get pretty specific with your keywords as well. Let's say I want to buy an iPhone 7, I can type in plus after, I can type in 32 gigabyte, and I can type in the carrier, and it'll filter that pretty easily, which is kind of nice, just because I want to see exactly, when going into these apps, I typically know exactly what I want to look for, so I can easily search and kind of sift through the ones that I actually want. There are going to be very few that don't really apply to me. And the last point is something that I've mentioned throughout the video, but this is a growing platform. It's something that I've seen more users get on literally every single time. I get more messages every time I post a phone, which shows me that this app is a growing platform. More people are interested in it, more people are loving it. So with that said, I would honestly give the app about an 8 out of 10 overall. There is some cons, so that's why it is an 8. But with that said, it is on the higher end because I do love the platform. I haven't really had any troubles with it yet. I don't buy too many things on the actual platform as much as they do sell. So from a seller perspective, I can give this a pretty good review. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any comments or questions, leave them in the section below. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to join the family. If you're not in the phone flipping Facebook group called Phone Flipping Mastermind, I have a link down below. Basically daily tips on how to phone flip and make an extra $400 a day. Last month I did $8,000 in sales. If that's something you guys are interested in, it takes almost little to no money to actually start this business model. It's something you can do very easily. So I also have a link for my Instagram. Basically just the most important section summed up into 1 minute. So if you're not following that, the link's down below. With that said, I'll catch you tomorrow in the next video.